Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the diamond in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the diamond in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Network. We on top of our game. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
All right, welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Monday, May 2nd, 2022. Got a lot of things to talk about today. We'll go over the NBA playoffs, have some matchups tonight, talk about today's MLB games. Pretty good slate of games that we'll break down and give out our picks of the day. Our picks of the day, let's see. Thursday we done good. We didn't do a show on Friday. The picks I gave out for the UFC over the weekend, I was 6-0 on the main card. We'll be doing another UFC breakdown here real soon. It'll probably be on Wednesday. We've got the big UFC. We have the big UFC pay-per-view this weekend with Gaethje and Oliveira, Namajunas versus Teixeira, not Teixeira, but Esparza. Rose against Esparza for the belt. It's gonna be a real good card. Like I said, we'll break that down on probably Wednesday. All right, 1 second here. Let me try and check something real quick before I move on. Yeah. Come on. But all right, we'll get ready to break down these games. Like I said, we'll go through tonight's NBA games, and then we'll jump into MLB, and then at the end I'll give out my picks of the day. Come on. All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Let's jump right into NBA here. Don't forget, you can find us Monday through Friday live at 3 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. You can find this show on Gonzo Sports Room or at Gonzo Sports Room on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can also find it on the All Sports All Plays Network, ASAP Sports, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, on all their platforms as well. So make sure you like and subscribe to both places. But all right, let's go ahead and get started in tonight's games. We have the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Miami Heat. Open up the second round of the playoffs. The Heat are 7.5 point favorites at home tonight. They're minus 335 on the money line. The Sixers are plus 270 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 208.5. Uh, Sixers have been one of the best teams in the NBA on the road this season, and it's continued in the playoffs. But the big shot in the arm to go to the Sixers tonight is going to be no Joel Embiid. He's out for the first two games of this series with a fractured orbital bone he received from an accidental elbow in the last series. So that means tonight, Sixers are going to need James Harden to step up and have a playoff moment. Will he? I doubt it. I mean, history shows that James Harden hasn't showed up at all in in playoffs in years past. And look at the chances he had in Houston. Houston had Golden State down. Chris Paul gets hurt. Harden collapses. Everybody knows the story. Houston loses the series. They brought Harden to the Philadelphia to be the number two to Joel Embiid. And actually, Harden's been the number three scorer on the team as Maxey has been the number two. Uh, Nothing against Maxey, but you're not paying Harden as much money as you paid him to bring him in, to add to this team for him to be your number three option or your number three leading scorer. I'm not going to say he's the number three option, but he's number three scorer. He's going to have to step up big tonight. He's going to have probably a close to a 40-point game tonight for the Sixers to have a chance to win this game against the Heat. The Heat are great defensively. Oladipo's been an X factor for them, being able to bring a guy that has made an all-star team in the past. He's a capable scorer. Bringing a guy off the bench and adding him to your team, that could be a big boost, but especially considering the fact that I'm not gonna lie, I forgot Oladipo was on the Heat till a few weeks ago, and he's played some big minutes here in the playoffs. I think he's the X factor, especially with Miami missing Lowry tonight with the hamstring. So with no Lowry tonight, having a guy like Oladipo on that team, the depth that the Heat have, I think is going to cause 76ers a lot of problems, especially without Embiid. Like I said, the Heat are great defensively. I think the Sixers are going to struggle to score points tonight. I have the Heat winning this game. I like the under the 208.5. I think the Sixers are going to have trouble scoring. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. So I like the under 208.5 in this game. And I like the Heat in this game at the minus 7.5. 7.5 is a lot of points in the NBA game. So that's kind of making me want to lean away from taking it. But I just don't see the Sixers being able to keep up with the Heat without Embiid. So I'm going to go with the Heat at the minus 7.5. And I like the under the 208.5. All right. Next game we have tonight is the Dallas Mavericks at the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are 5.5 point favorites at home. They're minus 230 on the money line. The Mavericks are plus 190 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 214. Now, I think it's going to be a fun series to watch. Booker makes his return for the Suns. Doncic is back. Doncic is averaging 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists per game throughout the playoffs. Chris Paul's averaging 22 points per game and 11 assists throughout the playoffs. I think it's going to be a fun series. I see the Suns winning this series. I just don't think the Mavs are going to have enough depth to outlast the Suns in a 7-game series. The Mavericks are averaging scoring 104 points per game so far in the playoffs. They're 5-0 ATS their last 5 on the road, their last 5 road games. So they have been covering against the spread. The Suns average 111 points per game in the playoffs. Like I said, Booker's averaging 23 points per game. Paul's averaging 22 points per game. I see Ayton probably having a big series in this series, or a big impact on this series, I should say, because The Mavericks just don't have a whole lot of depth at the big man position. So I like the Suns to win this game tonight. I'm gonna go with the Suns at the -5.5. I'm gonna go with the over the 214. All right, that's all the NBA. Excuse me. That's all the NBA games for tonight. Let me get over here. I can take a better look. All right, so for that's only 2 NBA games tonight. 76ers and Heat are the first game. Tomorrow night, on Tuesday, we have the Bucks at the Celtics. The Bucks won the first game of this series, uh, pretty dominantly. The Celtics are 4.5-point favorites here in the second game. They're -186 on the money line. The Bucks are +156 on the money line. Over under for this game set at 215. It kinda surprised me that the Celtics are 4.5-point favorites after what we just saw last game. But if the Celtics have to figure out a way to play better defense. If they can play better defense, they could have a chance against the Bucks. But I think the Bucks are going to win this series, and this series could get ugly if the Celtics can't figure out something tomorrow night to try to pull this series even. Then also tomorrow you have Game 2 of the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Game 1 was a great game yesterday. Warriors hold on to win. The Warriors are 2-point favorites on the road in this game, and they're -130 on the money line. The Grizzlies are +110 on the money line. Warriors won yesterday's game. Draymond Green gets ejected for one of the weakest flagrant 2 fouls I've ever seen. How you get ejected for that? Even tried to hold the guy up a little bit. Got ejected. It was because of his reputation. That's all it was. It wasn't because of the act. He shouldn't have been thrown out. I don't even think at the very worst it should have been a flagrant 1. I don't even think it should have been that. I think it should have just been a foul. I mean, there wasn't nothing that hard and excessive about it. But that's how. But the league is a lot softer now than what it used to be, so it didn't surprise me. I figured it'd at least be a flagrant, but I never thought it'd be a flagrant 2 and he'd get thrown out of the game. But the Warriors were able to overcome that and still win this game. To me, the Grizzlies have to be worried. You played one of your better games. I mean, you played a pretty good game, and had a lead for a large amount of that game, but the Warriors were still able to find a way to win on the road. Uh, I think the Warriors win this series. Uh, like I said, we'll talk more about them 2 games on tomorrow's show. But all right, let's get ready to move over and talk some Major League Baseball. But before we do that, uh, enjoy this short commercial, and then we'll be right back and with some Major League Baseball talk.
Get ready. This summer, the Arena League Sports is on ASAP Network. Tune in live on either the Tiki Live or Roku app, as well as your smart home TV.
All right, welcome back. ASAP has a lot of things going on. Make sure you check out the Arena Football League on there this year. They got, like I said, if you haven't followed or subscribed to ASAP Sports real quick, go do it. Also, make sure you please hit the subscribe button and the like button for Gonzo Sports Room as well. We greatly appreciate that. All right, in Major League Baseball, we have a couple games already in action. You have the Kansas City Royals at the St. Louis Cardinals. This game's in the 9th inning. Cardinals are up 1-0. Also, a game going on right now is the Chicago White Sox are hosting the Los Angeles Angels. The White Sox have a 2-0 lead in this game in the 6th inning. Next Major League Baseball game we have tonight is the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Miami Marlins. This game starts at 6:40 Eastern time. The Marlins are 1.5 run favorites in this game. They are minus 166 on the money line. The D-backs are plus 140 on the money line. Over under for this game's at 6.5. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. The D-backs are 10-13 on the season. The Marlins are 12-9. Uh, both teams have outstanding pitchers on the mound tonight. This should be a great pitchers duel. As you have Gallen on the mound for the Diamondbacks, he is 0-0 with a 0.60 ERA. And on the mound for the Marlins, you have Lopez, who is 3-0 on the season with a 0.39 ERA. So both these pitchers have been real effective this season. Lopez has been able to go a little deeper into games than what Gallen has. But some of that is because of the managers. That's not always all the pitcher's fault. The Marlins have won 8 of their last 10 games, so they've been rolling here as of late. I'll look for the Marlins to keep rolling tonight behind the arm of Lopez. I like the Marlins here at the minus 166 on the money line, and I like the under the 6.5 runs in this game. Both these, I don't see either one of these teams scoring many runs to maybe when the bullpen gets called on later in the game. Both these starting pitchers, I think, are going to keep these offenses in check. So I like the under the 6.5 runs in this game, but I like the Marlins getting the win at the minus 166 on the money line. Next game we have in Major League Baseball, the Minnesota Twins at the Baltimore Orioles. The Twins. The Twins are 1.5 run favorites. They are minus 144 on the money line. The Orioles are plus 122 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 7.5. The Twins are 13-9 on the season. The Orioles are 8-14. The Twins have been on a win or have won 9 of their last 10 games. They're going to have Paddock on the mound tonight. He has an 0-2 record with a 3.68 ERA. On the mound for the Orioles tonight is Wells. He has not gotten off to a great start this season, as he has a 0-2 record and he has an ERA of 5.54. The Twins have been playing better baseball than the Orioles. They have the better offense, and I believe they also have the better pitcher on the mound tonight. So I like the Minnesota Twins here to win on the road at the minus 144 on the money line. Next game we have tonight, the New York Yankees at the Toronto Blue Jays. This game starts at 7:08 p.m. Eastern Time, with the Yankees being 1.5 run favorites. They are minus 116 on the money line. The Blue Jays are minus 102 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 6.5. Both these teams have got off to decent starts on the year. The Yankees are 15-6. They're on an 8-game winning streak. They're 10-1 over their last 11 games. Montgomery's going to be on the mound tonight for the Yankees. He is 0-1 with a 2.70 ERA, with 15 strikeouts and 5 walks on the season. For the Blue Jays, they're 14-8 on the season. They're going to have a Stripling on the mound tonight. He is 0-0 with a 3.60 ERA, with 12 Ks and 4 walks to his credit. Opponents are hitting 243 off the Blue Jays pitching staff. I think that continues. I think the Yankees offense is going to be able to keep rolling. I think Montgomery's going to be able to do enough to slow down this Blue Jays offense. So I'm going with the Yankees here at the minus 116 on the money line. And I like the under the 8.5 in this game. Next game we have the Atlanta Braves at the New York Mets. This game starts at 7:11 p.m. Eastern Time. The Braves are 1.5 run favorites on the road. They are minus 104 on the money line. The Mets are minus 112 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 6.5. The Braves are 10-12 on the season. They have not got off to a great start to the season this year. They've been struggling hitting the ball, and also their pitching has not been what it was last year. Morton gets the start for the Braves tonight. He is 1-2 on the season with a 7.00 ERA. He's had control problems. He has 15 strikeouts to 11 walks. So control issues have really hurt Morton in his 3 outings so far this season. The Mets have got off to a great start this season. They're 15-7 on the season. They are 4-2 over the last 6 games. They're going to have Bassett on the mound tonight for them. He is 3-1 so far on the season with a 2.25 ERA, with 25 strikeouts versus 7 walks. I like the Mets to win this game tonight. I like the Mets at the minus 112 on the money line here. All right, next game in Major League Baseball is the Seattle Mariners at the Houston Astros. This game starts at 8:11 p.m. Eastern Time. The Astros are minus 1.5 on the run line, minus 132 on the money line. The Mariners are plus 112 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 8.5. Both these teams have struggled a little bit to start the season. Both teams have 11-10 records. Seattle's on a 4-game losing streak. They're going to have Gonzalez on the mound tonight. He is 1-2 with a 3.86 ERA on the season. The Astros are going to have, or the Astros are 4-1 over the last 5 games. They're going to have Dorsey on the mound tonight. He is 1-2 with a 6.00 ERA. Not got off to a great start this season. Neither one of these teams, the biggest problem with these teams have been scoring runs offensively. I like the Mariners here on the road as road dogs at plus 112. I think Gonzalez is going to be able to shut down the Houston offense enough for the Seattle to pull off this victory. I think Dorsey's going to struggle on the mound again for the Astros, and I think the Astros offense will struggle. So I'm going with the Mariners here on the money line. And I like the under the 8.5 in this game. Like I said, both these teams have been struggling offensively to score runs. Next game in Major League Baseball we have is the Tampa Bay Rays at the Oakland Athletics. The Rays are 12-9 on the season. Oakland is 10-11 on the season. This game starts at 9:41 p.m. Eastern Time, with the Rays as 1.5 run favorites, minus 158 on the money line. The Athletics are plus 134 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 6.5. Neither one of these teams have got off to great starts. Rays 12-9. They're 5-2 over the last 7, so they have been playing better as of lately. I think the Rays have the better pitching in this series versus the Athletics and the better pitcher. So I'm going to go with the Rays overall. I like the Rays to win this game tonight at the minus 158 on the money line. I like the under the 6.5. For the Athletics tonight, you have Jeffries on the mound. He's 1-3 with a 3.26 ERA. But the Athletics are just not hitting the ball. They're hitting .212 as a team, and they are 1-5 over the last 6 games. You're not going to win a whole lot of games in the major leagues hitting .212 as a team. I like the Rays tonight at the minus 158 on the money line. All right, that is all the NBA games for tonight. Before we get to my picks of the day, we'll take a quick look over here at some NHL hockey. You have the Bruins at the Canadians. Canadians are 1.5 favorites on the puck line, minus 118 on the money line. Bruins are minus 102 on the money line. Over under at 5.5. I like Carolina in this game tonight, being at home at the minus 118 on the money line. Then you have the Tampa Bay Lightning at the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs are 1.5 point favorites on the puck line, minus 120 on the money line. The Lightning are plus or even money. And over under for this game is set at 6.5. This is another game where I like the home team here. I would lean toward the Toronto Maple Leafs at the minus 120 on the money line. St. Louis Blues at the Minnesota Wild. I like the Blues here as the underdogs at the plus 105 on the road. Wild are minus 126. I like the under the 6.5. Then you have the LA Kings at the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers are 1.5 favorites on the puck line, minus 200 money line. The LA Kings are plus 164 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 6.5. I like the Oilers here in this game at the minus 200 on the money line, and I like the under the 6.5 goals in this game as well. But all right, let's take a short. We're going to take a short commercial break here, and then we'll come back and I will give out my best picks of the day.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the diamond in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
All right, welcome back to the show. We went through all of today's games. Now we'll get ready to give out my picks of the day. My picks tonight in the NBA, I like the Heat minus 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers are not going to have Embiid. I think that's going to be a big problem for the Sixers. I like the Heat at the minus 7.5. I would lean toward the under the 208.5 in this game. And in the other game tonight in NBA, you have the Dallas Mavericks at the Phoenix Suns. I like the Phoenix Suns as a 5.5 point favorite in this game. So I'm going to take the Heat minus 7.5 and the Suns minus 5.5. In Major League Baseball, we have one game going on right now as the White Sox are up 3-0 on the Los Angeles Angels. That game's in the 6th inning. But my picks for Major League Baseball tonight, we only have 6 games this evening, so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a pick for each game. I like the Miami Marlins money line against the D-backs. I like the Minnesota Twins money line over the Orioles. The New York Yankees money line over the Toronto Blue Jays. The New York Mets money line over the Atlanta Braves. I like the the Seattle Mariners money line over the Houston Astros. And I like the Tampa Bay Rays money line over the Oakland Athletics. So my picks for today are, in the NBA, I like the Heat minus 7.5. The Phoenix Suns minus 5.5. In Major League Baseball, I like the Miami Marlins money line, the Minnesota Twins money line, the New York Yankees money line, the New York Mets money line, Seattle Mariners money line, and the Tampa Bay Rays money line. That's my best pick. That's my picks of the day for today's games. I want to thank everybody for watching. Don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern on 3 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're giving out winners. Come join us. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Or you can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter on the ASAP Sports All Plays Network. Please hit Please hit the subscribe buttons on YouTube pages, the like and follow buttons on the Facebook and Twitch. We'd greatly appreciate it. GSR, we also have a show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern. It's our sports talk show, GSR Gonzo Sports Room. We'll be live tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern with that, so make sure you join us for that. Also today at 5 o'clock Eastern time, we have a recap and reaction show to WCWO Final Destination that took place over the weekend. So come join us for that. We'll have and also at 7 p.m. tonight, we have Coon Dog's Corner with the DCCW crew. So if you're a pro wrestling fan, make sure to join us at 4 and or at 5 and at 7 tonight for those shows. You can also find GSR Gonzo Sports Room and Easy Money, a sports betting show, in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places listen to podcasts, you can find them. So, if you want to listen to podcasts from them, go check them out. Check out our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room. We greatly appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. We will see you guys tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're giving out winners. Come join us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the diamond in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.